Relaxing the cheeks, the eyeballs. First, we're going to build you up your offer. We're going to make it clear of what you're selling. I have this really, really cool deal that's just available while we're on this call right now. And if not, it's not like the... We got Charlie Tree. We have Nicholas Cabrera. I know that we're waiting for a handful of other people. So nice to see all of you here. I'm very happy for you to take the initiative to figure out how can I live a life that is in alignment with my purpose, my passion, and be able to actually make an impact while also making enough money to sustain my daily needs and more. Y'all are making the right choice by being here. So I'm really excited to share this with you. This has been the essence of my whole entire life. We're going to wait for a couple more people to come, and then we're going to drop in with some breathing. Just a quick couple minutes. Yo, we got Cruz, the spirit ninja. What up, Cruz? We got Cruz, Carla, Charlie, Claire, Nicholas Cabrera, Shane, Vinny, Jordan. Gonna give it a few more minutes. I know we got some more legends on the way. Yeah, I was just saying, if you made time to do this today, that there's no better investment to future self than figuring out how can I best nurture and prepare my future self to do things that's more harmoniously aligned with my soul's mission, with living a life that's based on purpose and play, while simultaneously having all the things that we need in this 3D realm. Because I'm sure most of you guys here probably got open hearts and open minds, and when you can mix the open heart and open mind with the abundance and the 3D victories, you are a rare, rare creature. Yeah, we're gonna play one of the OG songs. Like, this one was probably, I think, the first song I ever put out in my life. And the reason why I want to play it is because it's so just like relaxed and vibey. A lot of the other stuff is very aggressive, but this one is nice and chill. Open your heart up. It's a good interlude song, you know?
Freedom is found inside all of our hearts. Feeling the magic, so blessed from the start. In through the nose, inspired by the breath. Let go of old, move on to the next. Full presence, light the smoke spiral from the incense. Time circulates, not spending. And lending a hand. Finding love in the dirt, finding love in the sand. I commend all of your work, it leads to bliss. Magnetic radiance fell through the ice, shining that shit so bright and white, past the stars, oceans, and the sky. Poetry, emotion, coasting, got us flowing. Flow into eternal bliss, to have strength through all the challenges. Left and right, we balancing. Making music with our friends and making love the life. Life is love, so have fun and nonetheless do your best in all circumstances. We are God's poetry, poetry, poetry in motion. Deep in the breath, into the heart, it's an ocean. I surrender and trust, fall into life, now I'm floating. Aligning thoughts, words, and actions with my emotions. We are living prayers, living prayers, living prayers in action. And I keep my words flowing as much as I speak. I learn to listen. And I keep my dreams growing, bringing my visions to fruition. If I keep my words flowing as much as I speak, I learn to listen. And I keep my dreams growing.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, it is 1 minute past 35. We always give it that extra little 5 minutes for the stragglers. So that'll be plenty for this. Oh, so I know we said some of you are actually driving. So of course, don't meditate while driving. But we're going to do a quick little ground in, tune up 5-minute breath. And then after this 5 to 7 minutes of breathing, we're going to hop right into the juice and the nectar that you've came here for, which is how can I make 10K plus per month from sharing my heart's message and still being in alignment with my ethics, being able to be of use and of service to the highest degree, and being able to have a more fulfilling, spacious life that isn't controlled by external and other people, places, and things. Like you've heard me say before, it's possible. I've done it. We have somebody else here who just quit their job, Claire. in our school as we speak, and numerous other people that we're going to go over and just show you the case study, how this works, and how this changed my life and others' lives and can change yours. All it takes is a little bit of love and devotion, some focus and time. With that, everybody, we can close our eyes, relaxing the cheeks and relaxing the eyeballs, taking a nice full breath in through the nose and breathe out. And another nice full breath through the nose. And let it go. So now we're going to do a really, really simple breath. This is a double inhalation with a sigh, but a through the nose sigh. A lot of the time, people make the sigh through the mouth, and that's okay. For now, we're going to imagine we're sighing out, but through the nose. That level of relax, that dropping, that softening on the exhalation. So together, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, puffing the belly all the way out. Double breath. And then breathe in a little more, and then just sigh it out through your nose. Letting it fall. Then double inhale through the nose. Just let it fall right out. Smile on the face. Taking another double inhale through the nose. And let it fall out through the nose. Now we're going to do something slightly silly, but keeping the eyes closed with a gentle smile. We're just going to wiggle our face and make a weird noise. Any noise, a subtle one. Okay, now take a deep breath in. Hold the breath to the top. Breathe in a little bit more through your mouth till you're completely filled. And squeeze your body. Squeeze your fists, your face, your toes, your nose. Squeeze your abdomen, your core, your biceps, triceps. Squeeze every muscle. And 3. Now vibrate with energy. 2. And then double exhale through the mouth. Sigh. Very good. Count 3, 2, 1. Final breath. Take a full double breath in. Hold it at the top. Breathe in more through the mouth and then squeeze your body. Squeeze your face. Squeeze your abdomen, your core, your glutes. Squeeze every muscle for 3. Now vibrate with energy. 2. And you can double exhale. Relaxing. Relaxing the eyes. Relaxing the whole entire body. With a gentle smile. Feeling the new sense of softness that you've just stimulated in your body. The body holds lots of tension and tightness oftentimes. So polishing the mind through squeezing and shaking off some of this extra subconscious chatter. This is going to be able to make us think clearly for the rest of this talk and discussion. It is our futures we're thinking about here, so making sure that we can be as clear and polished as we can before we get into something so significant. Typically these meditations would be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, but for now, I'm just going to gently open our eyes. We're going to get into the zone. I'm going to just mute everybody until it's time, because there will be a time for everybody to talk. All right. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you feel a little bit more polished and shiny. Yeah? Was that just a nice little tune-up there? Just a light little something. All right. Pull up. Very good job for everyone coming. There's no better, like I've said, return on investment than this. Taking care of your future, to live a life where you're able to enjoy and be peaceful, be in alignment, not have to do things that you don't want to do perpetually just in the name of $1 and for the bills to be paid. Something that only a rare few will be able to figure out how to do. And we've been blessed to have some really simple tools that are proven and repeatable that I'm about to show you right now as to how you can also repeat this, making 6 figures per year, aka 10K plus per month, from helping people relieve suffering and bringing about a deep state of purpose, fulfillment, confidence, clarity. People sell their health for wealth, and then they need people like us, the shiny few who have done the work, to be able to sell them their health back for some money. Simple as that. My whole intention here, and I'm only here for one reason, and this one single reason is to show you that you are 100% completely capable of making 10K per month like I have consistently for over 3 years now, using the system that we teach at Breath Coach School. So by the end of this session, you're going to know exactly how you can make 10K per month from sharing your passion, your vision, and your voice with the world while being a good influence on people and enjoying the whole entire way, freeing up more time for your self-love and self-care practices, freeing up time for more meditation, freeing up time for trips, having the financial capacity to be able to travel more. So by the end of this, my goal is to convince you of the fact that you can quit your job, just like Claire, who's here with us, and become a full-time coach, helping people for more than enough money to survive on, thrive on, and live off of. All right. This exact system, Claire, who's here with us, like I just said, she just quit her job, and just within 2 months, she paid off the whole entire tuition that she had paid initially to work together. She paid that off just within 2 months, and she wouldn't be the first. We have people like Glenn Skye, who actually just published his book. We have Gareth Hornell, who he's traveled all over teaching actually jujitsu and breathing the way of samurai, interesting enough, making that as his full-time income. And you can too, if we work together, because we've made this system that's proven and tried true to where you will make 10K plus per month, living an aligned life where you're able to make an impact in the world. So first off, just want to give you a little bit of a background about who I am, why I'm here, and who the heck am I, and why do I know what I'm talking about. Hopefully we can relate on some of these things. You can get a better rapport with me, as I already feel with all of you. So when I was a little kid, I was selling watches, and when I was 11 years old, and if you don't know my backstory, I've overcome addiction, treatment-resistant depression, and PTSD, but ever since the beginning, I was always an artist, and I was always a salesperson. I always knew that there was something really cool about being able to not go and spend time for money, but go and like offer something really cool and be able to make an exchange. That's like, what could be cooler than that? If you're an artist, you're selling your art, boom, you just sold something that you pulled out of thin air to like sustain yourself and be able to like eat and have options. And when I was a kid, I started selling watches because I sure liked smoking weed back in the day. I was always doing my best to figure out how to get some more money to smoke some more weed back in the day. So from a very young age, I started figuring out how can I sell things. It really scarred me and made me who I am, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the addiction, depression, overdoses, and all of the crazy things that had happened from that tendency of wanting to numb my trauma through drugs and alcohol. And that's why we're here today, actually, is because overcoming that now, I'm sure all of you have your own version of that story, whether it's your mom wasn't nice enough, whether it was like you went to the military, whether it was like kicked you in your face and you had to like come out the mud and now you got some kids, whatever it is, we all have our story. So just going to give you a little bit of a background of some of mine. After when I was 11, 12 years old, smoking weed, started to learn to sell things, started selling drugs, and over the ages 13 to 19, I had gotten arrested numerous times actually, and spent approximately 3.5 years locked up in jails and institutions. I tell some people that and they're like, no freaking way that's true, but it's true. And I'm not going to go into the depths of all of that, but I will go into the depths of the healing part. But just know that I've had guns to my head, I've overdosed more than you can count on 2 hands, I have 4 dead girlfriends, so I had an extremely traumatic upbringing. I've been beaten, bloodied, bruised, robbed, like all sorts of stuff. So I'm not going to go into the specifics of each story here. We've all went through our own version of trauma. Best believe that I went through mine, and mine is nothing compared to so many people. I've got it so easy, so soft, and so easy compared to the depth and degree of trauma that a lot of people work with. But that's why we do this work, because no matter what our life held, whether it was just not being loved enough, you don't need to relate to my crazy extreme story. Honestly, I hope you don't. But no matter what that trauma was, we all have it. Feeling misunderstood, feeling not loved, feeling judged, not being able to speak our truth, speak our voice, All these things, they leave imprints in us. And that's why people like you guys are here, because you have a mission and a message to share, and you've went through some stuff and you came out on the other end of it. Whatever that stuff is, went through it, and now you've came out on the other end of it. So I'll never forget the day where I had just gotten through all this crazy stuff, a police raid, I just got out of jail, I owed everybody money, just crazy times. I was starting to withdraw off of all these drugs. I was listening over and over and over to this song. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I haven't talked to you in so long. I need help. This is where it gets positive, by the way, so don't worry. I call him and I'm like, Dad, I need help. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you for so long, but I need your help. I'm about to withdraw off of these drugs. When I went to go see him, I was withdrawing, couldn't get the drugs, and I was listening to this song from Mac Miller called Perfect Circle, Godspeed. And it goes like this. I don't want to OD and have to talk to my mother. Told her they could have done more to help me, and she'd be crying, saying she'd do anything to have me back. I remember all the nights I was losing sleep. It was all the dream. There was a time that I believed that, but the white lines be numbing the dark times. The pills that I'm popping, I need to man up. Admit it's a problem, I need to wake up. Before one morning, I don't wake up. You make your mistakes, they don't make you. So I kept listening to that over and over and over and over and over, just crying like, oh my God, I don't want to OD and have to have my friends talk to my mom and told her they could have done more to help me, and she'd be crying saying she'd do anything to have me back. Like, I didn't want that. And I always told my mom growing up, Mom, you better give up on me because I'm going to be dead by 20. By the grace of God and by the grace of the infinite source of all creation, that lines everything up perfectly. When the sincere heart calls out to the infinite for support, for assistance, and for guidance, when a sincere seeker calls out, as I'm sure you all have had in some way, shape, or form, you're coming to God type of moment, God of your understanding, whatever that looks like for you, where you made that sincere call, look, I need guidance on this, look, I need help on that, and then boom, everything just perfectly lines up for you to actually step forward into that future timeline. So I ended up signing myself into a rehab right after that. I had been on drugs my whole entire life. I had maybe spent 6 months tops just while being locked up. I had not on drugs in that from ages 11 until, not including pharmaceuticals, when I was 8 years old, because I was put on Adderall when I was 8, from 8 until 19. But then at 19 years old, I finally made that choice after listening to that song over and over. And I got on my knees and I prayed to God. I was like, look, God, will you please kill me or kill the person who I used to be so that I can better know you? And then boom, like lightning, I'm on my knees and I burst out into tears and I feel this deep release of emotions and I'm like, oh, thank you, whatever this is. And I just knew somehow everything was going to work out. So then I ended up going into the rehab and then skip all the way through the rehab. That was great. And then I ended up going to live at an ashram by this crazy line of events where I went to this rehab. I met this yoga teacher at the rehab. I was like, this guy is really high right now. Looked like he's high on drugs. This guy looks like he's high on clarity and upliftment from his soul. So I want what he's having. And it was just very clear to me that like I wanted what he was having. And I've gotten to talk to that guy numerous times ever since. And he's a wonderful guy, devotee of Sadhguru. His name is Cole. He's spent like 5 to 10 years in India. Just a legend. That was the first time I actually learned yoga because of him. And because of YouTube, thank God for YouTube, I searched Indian guru men because I loved what that dude was saying. I'm like, I never heard any person on earth ever speak any truth like this Indian guy is talking about. Cut to the chase. I go and I live at this spiritual retreat center and I become a monk for over a year at the ashram. And then, you could even go as far to say like I'm basically at this point monk of sorts at this point. I don't really like to be doing much. I don't go out, don't get high, don't really do anything except sit around, meditate, and play around with nature and my breath and stuff. So I think we're all like authentic practitioners. If you're on this call, you're your own version of a monk. Even if you have a job, you can still be a monk, a working monk. But I went to that ashram and then everything changed. And that's when I knew I have to share this because I went there biting my nails, looking around, suffering, just like still, although I got out of the rehab and that was great, I had no identity. I didn't know who I was. I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't a drug dealer. I didn't know who I was. So I went to this place biting my nails, so manically depressed, but I knew I would do anything to not get high again or do anything that was going to hurt me, like drugs and alcohol and criminal behaviors. So I decided I'm just going to stick it out. And I stuck it out. That is the key pivotal moment was going through those intensive practices that I had to do with all those other monks there. It was just insanity. Spending weeks in silence with no phone, no reading, no writing, no talking, no nothing, just sitting around and meditating for 7 hours a day, doing hours and hours of yoga, extensive fasts, all sorts of stuff. So that was what really helped me completely reverse treatment-resistant depression, treatment-resistant PTSD, and treatment-resistant anxiety that the doctors would say I had, but really, I just needed some extra guidance and love from somebody like one of us. That's really all it was, is a more advanced version of myself at the time came into my life, and he showed me the way. And that's literally what our job is here as a group. We're here to come and bring somebody who's just a step before where we're at, and we can pull them up from where they're at and bring them up and be able to be of use. Also, for example, I work with some massage therapists and people that are in other lines of work, for example, like I said, Gareth with jiu-jitsu. So you don't technically need to be a spiritual health breath coach. This actually, what we teach at the breath coach school is applicable for multiple niches, but hopefully, I feel like I've looked at most of your guys' profiles. It seems like that's more so what you're heading towards is what I'm speaking about. So I was living, and after leaving the ashram, I was living, and this is where it starts to affect you and be meaningful for you. So hopefully this has been of use so far, and we're getting to the juice of how this helps you here soon. So I was living at this yoga studio after leaving the ashram. I'm living in like this dusty ass attic in the side of the freaking wall at this yoga studio called Roots to Crown in St. Pete. And I would wake up and I would teach the yoga every morning for people. I would clean up, volunteering, because I was just like a broke artist mentality. Living on couches, sleeping on floors. I was broke artist mentality because I thought that was cool. No, I'm a spiritual person. Money's bad. I don't need money. Money is like, somehow, money is just for like egotistical people or whatever kind of stories I was telling myself. Very much so wasn't at all based in reality. Little by little, I started listening to Tony Robbins and I was like, oh my God, I like this guy. This makes sense what he's saying. Yeah, I should be abundant and I should be able to share and give back. And I should have options to take better care of my body and eat better foods. I don't know if you guys saw my post the other day, but I was like, why do I care about money? So after I eat breakfast at 7 p.m. after fasting all day, I can go spend $100 at a farmer's market to eat organic, fresh food. And like, that's why we do this shit, you know? It's a big reason as to why we do this. So I had to get out of that I am a broke artist mentality. And that's something that I know, I'm sure at least some of you guys at some point maybe have went through a phase where you're like, oh, I'm a broke artist. And that is not the vibe, y'all, because we were built for way more than that. And we come from and are made of a universe that has infinite potential, that we can just use our human imagination to bring forth whatever it is that we desire. And in this case, how can we make an impact while making a bunch of money, while having a bunch of fun and feeling extremely fulfilled? What better thing could you be attracting? So broke artist time is about to be cut. I'm like, yo, I can't keep living in this attic teaching free yogas, feeling scared to ask people for money. Like, oh no, just give me whatever donation you want for my breath work or my massages. It's okay, just whatever. No, but like, you know, what do? We help people who have the means to pay us to help them so that we can help people who don't have the means to pay us to help them. And that's like a major key thing. That's why we take time for YouTube. That's why now, thank God, I've actually gotten approved for starting to go into prisons, and we can all do our own version of that. So instantly just thinking and accepting, if you do have shame and guilt around asking for money based on you adding value or removing suffering from somebody, let's just open ourselves to the idea that that is a false concept that the limited mind has created, and that we are very much so valid in asking for money to be able to help people remove their own suffering. So I moved to Miami with dust in my pocket and a couch to stay on for 1 month was my limit. And I went there knowing, you know what? I'm going to use all that stuff I read in those books and Tony Robbins, and I'm going to close a $10,000 client. I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out, I'm going to sleep on that couch, and I'm going to go somehow find somebody that's going to give me $10,000 to teach them yoga for a bunch of sessions. I was delusionally faithful, and I believed that. And you'll never believe what happened, guys. It actually freaking happened. It happened. And that's when the floodgates opened up. So if I could say anything from this part of this step right here, it's stupid amounts of like undeserved faith and confidence is necessary for this. So if you don't think you can get yourself to be delusionally confident that this will work for you, it's not going to work for you. You need to be delusionally confident that it's going to work. or else your human imagination won't be able to actually bring it forth into your reality. So I moved to Miami. I said yes. This person said, "Do you want to move in with me? It's $1,500 a month." I had never paid that much rent in my life. I had been couch hopping and freaking living in like flop houses, my parents' house, my whole life. Never paid $1,500 a month in rent. That's insane. But this guy's like, "Hey, there's a place called the Lighthouse. Would you like to move to the Lighthouse? It's a bunch of other spiritual entrepreneurs. It's just $1,500 a month rent." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And I had no idea on planet Earth how I was going to pay that rent. And I knew I needed to get out of Marjorie and Pedro's house, because if I didn't get out of Marjorie and Pedro's house, I would be like a mooching kind of vibe, and I didn't want to do that. I knew I came there to figure my shit out. So I was like, yes, I'll move into the Lighthouse. I'll come up with $4,500, which, by the way, I've never in my life before that ever had $4,500 of legal currency once, never. I had that blind faith. I said yes. Lo and behold, I get introduced after doing this in-person event. It was a Breathwork and Bufos retreat for 3 days, where different people came, and some people came for free as volunteers, other people came and paid, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time. And I had, over these last few months, even prior to what I'm talking about, I had been doing these maybe every couple months, and I would do small groups, and it would just be no expectations, just donations, pay whatever you want. And that was good. I feel like you find your voice when you do stuff like that. So that was really, really important. But I was done feeling stressed out, knowing how I was going to pay for food. I was done being like, oh man, maybe I have to move back into my parents' house, if that's even an option at this point. I mean, my mom told me that she would much rather me not. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I was done living like that. So then that's when everything I just said, I blindly went, I figured out, oh my God, all the stuff that I read in these books, I can do it. And now it's repeatable for you guys as well. So what we've done is the Breath Coach School, it does train minds and hearts to be open and sharp with the Beyond Boundaries breath work, and guides people into establishing their inner peace. And all the while, it's sharing a scalable, impactful business model that will be able to change your life and the lives of the people that you work with forever. So most people don't realize that they're sitting on a skill that can change the lives of them and everyone around them and create an awesome income while doing so. But most people don't let themselves actually see their true self, which is authenticity. Authenticity is the most valuable commodity on planet Earth. Think about the percentage of human beings that you know that are authentic. It's not many. Like, statistically, I'm sure it's a lot, but numbers-wise, it's a lot. Percentage-wise, it's not a lot. I would say probably less than 40% of humans actually authentically express themselves in a way that isn't based on the programming from their religion, their culture, their societal norms, and the programming that they got from a child. Most people are just regurgitating the things that their parents told them to do, society told them to do, etc. So you guys are on this freaking call, all you guys. You guys are the people that actually show up and are authentically yourselves, and that is the most valuable asset known to man now, because no robot is taking over the job of being an authentic, expressive, kind, compassionate, loving human being. And no college degree or therapist certification on planet Earth is ever going to be able to give you the tools and the ability to actually directly impact people to the level, the practices that we do at the Breath Coach School, and then whatever other intuitive practices that you have and that you'll come up with over time. Those practices are way better than what a school book could teach you. Truly, your intuition always surpasses some knowledge found in a book. You guys gotta realize that you have the skill of being authentic. You guys are the black sheep, and you go against the grain and you don't sell out. So if you're on this call, that is exactly what the world needs, and they won't get it unless you are selling it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know it may seem weird that you guys have, because you guys have open hearts and you're exchanging goods for services, for forms of currency. I don't know about that. That sounds kind of like maybe selfish or something. No, that exchanging goods and services for currency is older than mankind itself. And the only way for you to actually be able to impact these people is to sell your services to them, because they're not going to take you seriously to the degree that they need for major transformations unless you sell it to them. For example, if I was to just be like right now, hey guys, look, I'm going to give you everything. I'm giving you my course portals. I'm going to coach you one-on-one. Like, I'm going to get you to the 10K a month, and it was going to be for free, and I'll just pour into you guys for free. And believe me, I've tried this. There's no way on planet Earth any of you guys would take that seriously. So that's the same thing with you and other people. You gotta sell the sauce to them, because if you sell the sauce, it's going to be more valuable, more meaningful, and have more weight, substance for these people. We live in a day and age where people just go and they purchase. For example, you can go and get a massage. You're just going to go and ask somebody, hey, can I have a free massage? I mean, maybe you could trade them a massage. That's cool. Or maybe you could, like, you know, if that's your family or something, but you're not just going to go to a massage therapist and be like, hey, give me a free massage. Like, no, you want to exchange with this person and be able to give them for the value that they hold. And that's the same thing with you guys. People want to be able to do that with you as well. So there are people on planet Earth right now that are waiting for you to have the balls to just charge money to help them. I promise you. And it only takes 1, 2, or 3 clients to make your entire life shift for good. One of my primary clients, his name is Satya Lingan. When I first met him, he was biting his nails, he was looking all over, scratching his head, but he had a thriving business, big old pockets, a deep urge to like want to take psychedelics and understand God more. That was what he needed. He needed to take some psychedelics. He needed to take some meditation, do some breath work, and like be really immersed in this. But if it wasn't for me hosting this retreat, offering him to come for free for the first day, and then whatever the price was the next day, I would have never, and using some other tools that we could teach you about, referral programs. And I'm not going to get into the depth of like how the business side of things works, but anybody that has a brain and words, like I could show you how to ethically simply use your voice to be able to bring people into wanting to get help by you. So using some of the tools that we'll teach, Soth came from a referral from somebody, and that only that client right there has given me in this last 2 years over $200,000. I know that sounds fucking ridiculous, but it's completely true. Separate from him, there's been numerous other people who have done $10,000 packages, $5,000 packages, $3,000 packages, $500 FUFO sessions, like all sorts of stuff. None of that would be possible if I didn't have the skill set and the knowledge to know there is a very specific way of how to ethically, in a heart-centered way, be able to provide value for money. Because it's a tightrope. And if any of you are like, oh man, I don't know how I feel about that, still kind of feeling, damn, like charging, I couldn't charge thousands of dollars for my services. Well, okay, let's put it like this. What if you were suicidal on alcohol and porn and your marriage is failing? Then would you maybe pay thousands of dollars to figure out a way to stop being on alcohol and porn with your failing marriage, and you have a hole in your heart and you're giving away your money at the casino and you're with prostitutes and just like nothing will satisfy you at all anymore, and you are absolutely desperate to somehow have some kind of relief in your life? That person, to varying degrees, even a way less extreme version of that, is more than happy to exchange currency for a solution to their problem. And that's what we do, is we offer solutions to people's problems. Like I said, people sell their health for wealth, and then they need to buy their health back again. So that's where we come in. What if every single day you could wake up knowing that you're helping other people and you're living in your purpose, your passion, and you're able to eat the foods that you want, share the stories that you want? Like, do you know how much I love this shit right now, guys? Like, I have 12 awesome people that are here chilling with me right now, and I'm able to be of use to you guys. You don't know how special that is to me. Money, I'm not even really like thinking about that too much. Actually, that's why I haven't even done shit like this recently, because I have all the money that I need. I'm straight. Like, at this point, I got bored, and I was like, damn, I am being so selfish because I'm not showing up and giving as much. So that's why I got approved to go into the prisons. That's why I want to do this, because I fucking love you guys. I want to be of use. And I know that everyone here at some point must have felt that, especially if you're working a job that you don't like or something like that. You're like, God, I can't believe I'm using all of my time doing this shit when I could actually be of use in some real, tangible, powerful way. That's what we're here to do, y'all. Even if you're just getting started with the breath work, or even if you feel like you're on a bad path at the moment and you don't really know, like, how on earth could I sell coaching to somebody? That doesn't really make sense that I could be selling coaching to somebody, considering my life's all fucked up as it is. Well, look, the whole program, it starts off with first embodying the practice. So I'm not immediately telling you, go right now, start selling coaching. That's not exactly what I'm saying. A lot of you actually are at a place where you could do that. I'm sure probably even all of you. But if you feel like you're in such a rut that it's like you couldn't even try to think about immediately selling something, that's why this program isn't just a business program, and it's actually most prominent part is the embodying the practice, the beyond boundaries breathing, and all of the other subconscious reprogramming and devotional practices that you'll create with yourself to God or whatever of your understanding, and be able to actually remember how special and important it is to be in prayer. Have your own ways of doing that, whatever that looks like for you. That is the primary, first and foremost thing that we need to do here, is to embody the practice. And then second, we'll be able to share with you guys how to facilitate the practice, the Beyond Boundaries breathing. Third would be able to build a business from that. As part on the second part, we're going to be able to get you to figure out exactly what is it that you want to share. For some of you, it might be like, I want to create a hip hop school. For some of you, it might be like Gareth, who made a jujitsu school. For some of you, it might be Glenn, who actually just made a community based on people breaking out of the matrix. Like, it doesn't need to only be breathwork, but breathwork for sure should be incorporated in it, considering it is the most scientifically backed and proven method to alleviate human suffering and all sorts of different diseases and all sorts of peer-reviewed studies. It's just undeniable. So we have the most potent and powerful tool known to freaking man, and it's pretty much free. If you think that you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's okay. You'll figure it out, and that's why I'm here, and that's why the community's here. We're here for you. The other thing is, a lot of you guys might be thinking, how on planet Earth I couldn't make $10,000 a month? That doesn't make sense, bro. What do you mean? Like, how? Like, that might just like be hitting and you're like, yo, he's capping. There's no way on planet Earth I could make $10,000 a month. Well, look, guys, I promise you, without going viral, which by the way, I'm not viral, and without putting money on ads, I don't put money on ads, and without any of that shit, you can still, just using your contact list on your phone, using social media, even without going viral, helping people. For example, we'll show you how to make proper events. We'll show you how to like go and volunteer at places so you can be of use and then make friends. This is all about like getting your hands dirty and being around people and serving humans. This is what we're doing. We are serving humans. And like, that's what the fuck this is. And there's no way around that. So if you don't want to serve humans, this isn't for you for sure, because I'm sure you will have to give a lot of free stuff away. I've given thousands of hours worth of free services away at this point. I wouldn't take it back for the life of me, because they help me find my voice. They help me, I feel like, on a subtler level, get really good karma and fulfillment from being able to bring relief to humans. The vibrational like exchange of you bringing relief to people is unmatched. You think maybe that you can't make $10,000 a month. Well, look, here's just a little bit of proof that this was a couple months ago. Can you see that? Maybe Claire, give me a thumbs up. Net revenue, $32,800 whatever the fuck dollars.
I can see it.
Yeah, that was one of my bigger months for sure. $21,000 X amount of blah blah blah. 17,000 whatever it was on this one. Every single month for the last 3 years it's been over 10K a month. My highest was like 35, middle ground 20, and that's all not from selling this, by the way. A lot of people sell you a course. Oh, I can help you do this shit, and they're actually making money from selling you this. Actually, no, this hasn't even been my main offer. The majority of the money that I've made is actually from helping people in real time, in the groundwork, just like I'm showing you guys to do. And at this point, you guys are some of the first groups. I mean, Claire just quit her job. I mean, Glenn and Gareth, yeah, we have some people, we have some success, but that it's not like this has been my bread and butter. My bread and butter has been doing what we're talking about here, which is actually serving real people who want to either we'll have to figure out what your niche is and what you're looking to do, who you're trying to serve. But for me, it was serving high performers that can't seem to get fulfillment in their life, even though they have, if they have a kid, they have money, they just can't seem to be okay and sleep well at night. That was who I went to look for and help. And then that's been all that money you just saw. That's where that came from. I really want to instill this idea in your head that you absolutely can do this as well. I wanted to see if we could get Claire maybe just to come on a little bit and just share about her experience this last couple months and how, dude, she just quit her job. She paid off the tuition for the course in full within just like 2 months of working together. She has a baby on the way. Last thing, I know I'm rambling. I do this shit because I really, really enjoy being here with you guys. So like, Claire, I love you so much, and I look forward to our calls. Like, this is not work to me. Anyways, please, Claire, take it away.
Love you, bro. It's so great to be here with all of you. Yeah, I'm happy to share. I started working with Kashi. We've been friends for a while, and I just felt really inspired by his beautiful, blissed out vibe and his energy that you can all see. And I was like, I need that shit. I was like, why am I working this job that's not serving me, that I'm going to work every day working for someone else, and I'm not feeling super happy and fulfilled? I really admired his authenticity. I have been following him for a while, and I finally kind of took that plunge. And as Kashi mentioned, the first stage of this process is really embodying the practice. And I believe that that's so important, is to just get really serious with the breath work. Something that I was struggling with when I started working with him less than 3 months ago was like a serious nicotine and weed addiction. And that was something that was just chaining me, not to mention also Adderall. So just substances that, I was using to kind of numb myself out, get through the day. And honestly, with the intentional breathwork practice plus the community, so it's been Kashi, Jordan, and I, and a couple other folks on these calls weekly. It's been accountability. I'm showing up to these calls. I'm telling them kind of what I'm working through. The breathwork is doing its thing. And I've just started to feel really, really amazing over time, to where I feel like I'm now at a place where I can kind of take some actionable steps on the business side. Now that I've embodied the practice, I healed myself. I'm feeling really, really clear-headed and really mentally tough. We talk now more so about business and like how we can level each other up. Always a conversation. So we're always just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. Kashi's providing actionable tips, resources, tools. I also really look forward to our weekly calls because I think community is medicine. Kashi said, you can look at all of this stuff up on the internet. You can buy someone's $100 guide on how to start your coaching practice, but like you cannot have the accountability of like these beautiful humans around you and the community that's like pushing you, cheering for you, celebrating each other's wins, there for each other when we're struggling. So that's been a huge win for me. I told Kashi this morning, I rewatched our initial video, like when we first started our first breathwork session. And I was just like, I looked like shit. And I know that I felt like shit too. And if any of you are in that spot where you're just like, damn, like I'm really wanting more for myself right now, just trust that you can get there. Take the leap, take a chance on yourself. You don't have to quit your job immediately, right? There is kind of that in between where you're able to, test the waters. And I did the same thing, but now I feel super confident in myself. I'm trusting the process, trusting myself, trusting the universe, and just know that this is what I'm meant to do because it feels so good. Kashi's been an awesome mentor. I swear to God, he didn't pay me to say this. I've healed myself, had fun doing it. And I think that something that I really take to heart is like, take fun seriously. Like we live so seriously all day. It's like we need to just let loose, be weird, be authentic, be ourselves, and our people will find us. Love you guys. I'm wishing you all the best. Hope that you find what you're looking for out of this call and beyond.
Thank you so much, Claire. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, man, Claire came such a long way. Her skin's shinier. She's on like day 10 or 7 or 10 of this badass cleansing parasite cleanse mixed with just like whole food, healthy eating. It's just basically only fruit and vegetables for about 10 days at this point, and she's crushing it in every single way. Off the addies, like quitting the job, even though the job was like cool, you said, like it's just not like in alignment, although it's for a cool cause, you said, it's like still you'd rather like do this for yourself. Lord knows that I can relate. So thank you so much for sharing. Jordan, are you in a place where maybe you want to talk? So Jordan's already had some wins. He's been hosting events, getting people on the phones, which is really, really cool, and people interested in at least inquiring about signing up and doing some work with him. I'm not sure if Jordan maybe wanted to share his experience. Okay, no problem. We'll just move on. But anyways, with that, I think we're probably just at the end here. I want to just ask everyone's permission. Is it okay if I just kind of like give you an offer of what it looks like to work with me and us? Is that all good? Good. Simply put, the Breath Coach School is just helping people get to 10K per month while sharing their heart's song, while doing things that are in alignment with themselves, and while having the most profound healing journey of finding our voice and turning into that future version of ourselves that is confident, that is faithful, that is trusting, that is devoted, that is excited, that is able and capable of actually setting a goal, bringing it forth through your imagination, through collaborating with the community, by using the tools and techniques that we have, by using the technology, the frameworks, we have pre-written text, like everything that you could ever need on the business side, that's all there. But most importantly, everything you could need on the vibrational side, that is there. And when you come vibrationally in as a community, it really is an unstoppable force where we're all magnetizing one another's success and victory to just be free from the freaking matrix. And not like we are still in the matrix, y'all, but we're free from the chains and the burdens of, damn, I won't do this for another year. Like, what am I doing? I keep waking up and going to this place, and I don't know why I keep going to this place. I'm sure maybe some of you can relate to that shit, and that's why I love this shit, is because when we can pull people up out of doing shit they hate all day into getting them to make even way more money than they would have doing the shit they hate and doing shit they love, bro, come on, like that's such a major win. So this comes with an in-depth training with all of the science of the breath, the science of the brain. So we have our guest teacher Toby Passman, epic neuroscientist friend of mine, that we have an in-depth training where it goes over all things brain waves, neurochemicals, and how to optimize your brain using breathwork and other nootropics and psychedelics and all sorts of other things that he breaks down in that training. Then we have modules of the Breath Coach School, which is mostly about the science of the breath, the application of the breath, and eventually how to actually facilitate the Beyond Boundaries breathing, which is tapping, shaking, breathing, squeezing, screaming, withholding, and dissolving. Hopefully, maybe some of you guys have tried it out on my YouTube or something, but it's a really, really cool process that would love to take you through as we continue this journey. The community, so we have the community of people that every single week we put on multiple calls per week, anywhere from 2 to 3 calls. We just uplift each other, we talk about where we're at, and we set the specific goals. So I'm going to be able to tangibly tell you from wherever you're at. First, we're going to build you up your offer. We're going to make it clear of what you're selling and why you're selling it and who you're selling it to. And then we're going to get very clear about how you're going to be able to drive traffic to your page, to your phone, to yourself. However, there's many ways organically without paying money for ads that you can bring people to you. And then we'll go over all the different ways of doing that online and in person. I'll give you all the frameworks of how to run events, how to sell out events, how to make your life easier when doing online and in-person events, so you're not having to retype messages and like copy and paste shit. It's just like all of the pain in the ass type of stuff that comes with, when you do one thing right and you win, then there's always another whole list of problems that comes with it. So with like running events, reaching out to people, doing online events, like all these different things, how to get on sales calls, what to say, do you tell them to come like on Zoom, or what do you even say? Like there's so many different layers of shit that I had to go through 1,000 freaking times, falling on my face and reading gazillions of books and paying tens of thousands of dollars to mentors, that you're just gonna skip all that shit, be able to just take it straight from me. I'll even do it for you, actually. So say you have a call, you did your event and I helped you make the event, I helped you come up with like the name, the concept, I guided you through how to use Canva, and we did all that stuff together as a group, and we're gonna get you lined up every single last step of every single thing you need to do to drive leads into your thing so you can help people and make money. We're gonna do that all together. So between the tech, the strategy, the actual sales process of selling to people, we're gonna make sure that you're completely taken care of with the brain training, the breath training, and making sure that you're gonna be an expert facilitator at sharing breath work. Lastly, being able to figure out your own message. Like, I don't want you guys just to think like this is some cult or some shit. Like, the Breath Coach School is great. Beyond Boundaries Breathing, great. If you don't want to teach that, don't. Like, it works, it's great, but we want to make sure that you have your own thing. So I'm going to help you figure out what that own thing is, whether it's like a talking experience or like a questionnaire, whether it's a different type of breathing that you invented yourself, whether it's maybe you work with psychedelic medicines and you want to take people on mushroom experiences and you want to make a framework of doing that. Whatever it is, we're going to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing, so when you talk to people, you're going to know what you're talking about, so that you seem like a professional, which really we're all just a bunch of little kids walking around that look like adults. At least you'll be able to look like you know what you're doing and seem like an adult, so that people will trust you enough to be able to serve them to the highest capacity. So I have this really, really cool deal that's just available while we're on this call right now. And if not, it's not like the biggest difference, but we do have a special deal because there's 12 human beings that actually stuck through this whole entire call. That's amazing. Typically this program's $10K, but don't worry, we're not doing that. I decided that I've gotten told yes so many times, but I've gotten told no so many more times. I was like, I want to make this more accessible for people. I don't want to just have to tell everyone like, oh fuck, sorry. That's not going to be the price, but it used to be 10K and it's been 10K, not for this, but for my other coaching and group coaching. We're not doing that. So right now now we've been doing a special. If you sign up today and even just put $500 down, you're going to be able to get the whole remainder. If you wanted to catch this deal, basically you could just like write in the chat right now, that sounds good. You're down to put $500 down into learning to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year from sharing your message. You'll have all the tools that you need. If there's any questions, please just unmute yourself. But like I said, if you're already like, yo, I'm sold, I want this, I'm ready, all I need to do is put 500. She says that's less than what I paid. Yeah, it is. Sorry, Claire. Yeah, so put in the chat, and if you have any questions, you could just come up and unmute yourself and ask me anything you would like as well. Well, it looks like we still have 12 people here. I'm assuming that there's some reason you're still on this call after I'm making you this offer. Does everybody know how to use the chat? Are you capable of unmuting yourselves? Nobody wants to unmute themselves and say anything at all.
I know how to use this technology thing at least. How's it going?
We're blessed. So is there anything that I could say or do to clarify anything that we just spoke about?
Yo, Cashy, what up, brother? It's Cruz.
What up, Cruz?
Hey, man, I just want to first and foremost say my unconditional love and gratitude, bro, for this little talk that you had and the presentation you gave about the school. I think what you're doing is incredible, brother, and I definitely want to be a part of this. I'm not, unfortunately, right now in the position to be able to pay for it. I do believe in what you're doing, and I do see it. It is something I'm very interested in, and I know for sure that with time I will also join you guys and help you build this into an even bigger, have more reach for more people like us who are able to do these type of things. So I definitely wanted to at least get my voice in here and just, bro, thank you, son. Like, I feel like I really needed this meeting tonight, because today, to be quite honest, as super conscious as I can be and as aware as I am of my own awareness, today was a horrible day, dog. And so just to have some type of positive, higher frequency conversation by the end of my evening was great. And you know what I mean? Just listening to your story and seeing how you manifested what you manifested for yourself was very inspiring and motivating and uplifting, even for a person like myself who usually does that for others. I'm usually the one in your position right now, giving diaphragmatic breathing classes, meditations, talking to my people, uplifting people. So to actually be the student today and just observe and listen to you and put my ego to the side, it's definitely a breath of fresh air, bro. So just know that I love you unconditionally and I truly appreciate it. And you and I will definitely keep talking about this, because I'm gonna definitely get with you with everything you're doing, bro, for sure.
Thank you, Cruz. I appreciate you, bro. You should come and kick it with us. Congo's coming down to Basel, so I could send you those links of those events and stuff.
True. Yeah, man. When is Basel? It's like in December, right?
Yeah, like the 6th, 7th, and 8th is the main events that I know of that are happening.
True. You guys doing any performances, or you guys just vibing out there?
Yeah, Congo has got a couple. I'm not booked for any, but I'm just gonna be pulling up with Congo.
That's dope. All right, man. Well, we'll definitely talk soon about it for sure.
Yeah, good shit, bro. Let's do it. Sweet. And then I see that. Thank you so much for your perspective and your love, and I really appreciate that. May your day be better now, and it's just gonna keep getting better and better. And you go to sleep, and then that momentum stops, and then boom, it's the new day. I know you know how it goes, Cruz.
Absolutely.
So we got Nicholas Cabrera said, don't have the money at the moment. I'll be doing this as soon as I can. Believe it. Okay, Naruto. Well, look, no, I'm open to hearing, because I want to make sure, because this will make you money. So, like, I might be kind of crazy for thinking this, but why don't, if you're dead ass serious about this, you're like, yo, I don't have the money. I can't do it for nothing. Like, that's for sure. I just can't do it for nothing. But just hit me up separately if you're like, bro, I literally have like fucking dust in my pocket and I'm living at my mom's house right now. You can hit me up and let's talk about maybe making something happen, okay? But I know Vinny was going to say something.
I wasn't going to say something, but I can if you want. No, I'm glad that I hopped on this call, and this has been something that's been sort of brewing in me for years, to be honest. And I'm like one of those people, I have conversations with strangers, and they tell me their whole life story. They get something from the conversation. They're like, why don't you do this for a living? I'm like, do what? And they're like, talk to people and help people. I'm like, me? I'm like, nah, I wouldn't be able to do that. And then they hear my story and they're like, you should be doing this. But it's that like self-doubt and that, nah, me, little old me, I can't do that. I've had some interactions recently that have pushed me to be like, you know what? Like, I think it's time. I'm going to have a couple conversations. I'll be hitting you up like ASAP. I promise you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. Really happy to hear that. What I'll do right now is just while we're on the phone since you said that. I'm going to go onto my Instagram and go onto your Instagram and just like for the one time, just kind of like tell you a general outline of what we would do together.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I'm definitely interested.
So Healing with Vinny, 44 followers, 3 posts, 96 following. That's perfect. That's the fresh account.
I literally just started it like this week.
Perfect. No, fresh accounts are good because it didn't confuse the algorithm yet. So I help men process and heal experiences of PTSD, addiction, and divorce. Bro, it's amazing. So they can live a life of peace, feel truly free. It's possible. Wonderful. So what we would do is we would go in and we would switch that up just a teeny bit, put a code word. That picture is actually really, really good. We maybe would like zoom in on your face a little bit more. And then we would just create a routine because you just mentioned that your voice is kind of a little old me. Like you're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that little old me. So the number one block that Vinny and all of us are going to have to, you and I break together is that block itself. You're going to find your voice. So the book that we read, the first chapter of it, it's called Finding Your Voice. And it is the most profound process and journey that I know Jordan and Claire and other people, myself included, are constantly touching your throat.
That's the thing. If I don't think about it and I just go into talking to people and having conversation, it flows. And I don't think about it. There's that little hurt child that sort of is like, oh, don't say too much. You don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah. That's great because, dude, that's the type of shit that we can jump over, and it's going to be a great obstacle to triumph over because clearly it looks like you're a veteran. Is that right?
Yeah, my big audience, I think, is I'm going to try to sort of go towards veterans. I went to Afghanistan in 2009 and 2010 and went through more than the average, I would say. It was pretty traumatic, and that had a profound effect on me and led to drug addiction and divorce and all of those things that come after. And the suicide problem amongst our community is really bad. So my goal is to try to get to a lot of them, not just veterans, but I have a special place in my heart for guys who are struggling that went through what I went through. So like that's definitely a big part of what I want to try to do.
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm not sure if this is appropriate to say, but thank you for your service. That shit's crazy, and I'm so glad that you came out on top. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. So yeah, that's the type of shit the world needs to hear, bro. That's what we're going to do is we're going to be able to get really clear about scripting things intentionally that's going to leave the most massive impact on people and freestyling stuff like you said you're good at. But we're going to train ourselves to be able to flip that switch and channel shit on command without at all any thought about who's around us, what people are thinking, what are they going to say, like none of that. We'll be able, through the different books that we're reading, one in particular, and some of the different practices, subconscious reprogramming, and then just the community and practicing in the community doing this because we do a lot of like talking experiments, exercises, doing lots of training exercises as a group. So yeah, this would be great. I have a very good feeling. We're actually just from reading this and seeing your profile, dude, you're literally the number one perfect, like exactly who I know for sure I can get you to where you're wanting to go. So talk to whoever you need to talk to, do whatever you got to do. I'm gonna be here for you. I'm excited to.
Yeah, you'll hear from me in the next couple days.
Is there anyone else? I know that we got Julie or Shane, but Shane's still here. So what up, bro?
Good to see you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. You know, like I was telling you in our text, earlier this week, I've been involved in the Soma breath practices as well. So it's just like kind of like merging all together. And I'm a general contractor by trade. So to get out of that, mentality of chasing that dollar, $10, $20, $50,000, like you always chasing after it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like working with like old paint, dust, debris, just a lot of things that, I'm jeopardizing my health for $1 when on the other side, I should just be, helping people for $1, not risking my life. And, is it enjoyable? Yeah. Before and afters are cool, but at the end of the day, it's not like fulfilling me eternally. It's putting money in my pocket, but at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, man, I definitely want to jump on and get things rolling with you and, kind of intertwine these two worlds. Kind of been in the scene and on the back burner a little bit. I need to do the right thing, or I need to, when really, health is wealth. Breathwork is, the top resources in the world for bettering your life. Yeah, man, I'd love to be a part of the group, get things rolling. So awesome.
Did you just say that you want to join the group?
Yeah, I do actually. Make a move.
So was it that price change that made it way better and more feasible?
Well, yeah, the price change definitely, but at the end of the day, like I feel, like I paid, 5 or 6 G's for the Soma, but like with you, there's things that you can give me that they don't and things that they can give me that you won't. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of bringing both worlds together. And at the end of the day, you know, like investing into yourself is huge. So money is nothing really, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, money comes, money goes, you know what I mean? So it just depends on what you want to spend it on and, you know, how you want to move forward in your life. So I'm here for it. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to hear that.
Let's go, Shane.
Let's go.
We got Shane in the squad with us now. Cool. Do you want me to send you an invoice for 500 or 1,000 or what do you think?
Yeah, you can go ahead and send the 500 and then, you know, we can just play it by ear and then kind of see where things fall into place.
Perfect. Yep. So typically the goal would be though with this would just be like 500 a month.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And I mean, you know, once I catch on to things and understand, you know, what's going on, I'm not going to have a problem just shooting you the money and being like, hey, here you go.
Yeah, you're going to just close the deal and be like, yo, here you go. So we got you. I'm going to send you that invoice right now. And then while we got you here and you just made this choice to change like your life and get on the business side, because does Soma do the business side of things or not as much?
They teach you basically, you know, like I said, I've been very neglectful on the practice, but they do give you basically like everything you need to have a successful coaching program for, you know, wellness in general. But then breath work is kind of like, you know, the leading factor in making people healthy is the breath work and, you know, the static dancing and the movement and stuff like that. So, you know, they give you a little bit of everything, but the more the merrier. You know, I did see that you were in another country over the summer with Mind Valley.
Yeah, dude, and I actually got to meet the Soma breath people and all that. Yeah.
Ah, sick. And yeah, that's awesome. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Yeah. Cool. So, and then would you say the main thing that you were wanting to do was just to start having that habit? So I think how we could help you the most, would you say a big part of it is the bringing the community together, like having that like support as a group where we're just like, there's no escaping us now, Shane. Like you're gonna have the squad with you. You're doing this shit now that you just said you're doing it. Is that gonna be one thing that's the most helpful?
That's the main thing, really. You know, being held accountable. You know, like the Soma, like I bought the program. So now it's up to me to, you know, make it to step 1, step 5, step 10, step 20, you know, so they're not like on me. I mean, they send me emails and I get the calendar every month for the calls and stuff, for the training calls, but it's like not someone on me like, yo, what up? You know, like you were very persistent and like hit me up. And I live a busy life, you know, chasing these dollars, but like at the end of the day, I have to come back to center and be like, all right, there's more to this. Yeah, just being held accountable, you know, that's half of the battle. You know, if you can wake up every day and someone's like, yo, where you at? What's up? You know, that gives you more incentive.
Added you to our group chat. There's no escaping us now because we be posting that shit all the time.
Let's go.
I'm really happy to have you with us and the accountability. I know Claire's still here with us. I think Jordan left, but yeah, two really great people. And
very exciting. Also. And I'll see you in Miami on the 7th.
Oh, you're going to come out?
I'll be at the Oak Shaw. Let's go.
I'll see you there. And then we'll talk on every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then we'll also, if you want to do like a one-on-one, we also can do that too. So just like really as much as it takes to take care of you to make sure that you could set your shit up to have a business with this, that's like the main priority. So really excited for you, man.
Let's go. Thank you.
We got 7 other people here. Does Nicholas want to say anything or Charlie? Either one of you.
Hello. Is this thing on? Hey, what's going on, family? It's good to see you guys. Yeah. So right now, like I said, I don't have the money for the program. I was working a restaurant job that was super duper stressful. We would pull in like easily like $10,000 a day. It was just too stressful for me. I ended up, just from the stress, I gave out in my knee. I didn't even get like really injured or anything. I started feeling a weakness in my knee and I ended up losing my job. Now I'm here. I'm getting a new job. I still haven't started it yet at Chipotle. So I'm in debt. I don't have money. I'm literally starting at the rock bottom, but it's only up from here, right?
Yeah. Well, dude, with that, you just told me your exact situation. You said debt. Are you living at your parents too?
Yes, sir.
We got you, bro. No matter what, I'm going to just send you like good ass resources and you and me need to start talking more, bro.
For sure. It's been a long time coming. Yeah. You hit me up originally when I think you still had like your head shaved, literally like 6-7 years, like a long time ago when your account, I think was, I belong to you. Yeah. But I was like, I didn't know you, so I didn't really like respond to the message, but I've been watching you grow this whole time. And honestly, dude, like it's about that time to shine, bro. We got to link up. Like this is my whole life, bro. Like I could do a lot of things on your team, bro. Like, I'm ready to open myself up and be of service 100%.
Bro, well, that's amazing. Well, what I'm going to do is for Shane and then for you as well, I'm going to send you guys both over some really cool first steps to get the mind rolling in the right direction. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of. bro, okay? I'm so glad that you've been here on this journey with us. Thank you.
No, you got it, brother. Unconditional love to all.
Yeah, are you coming to Moksha as well?
I would love to be honest. Yeah, I was there last year and it was a blast.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, one of the best shows I've ever been to, hands down.
Yep, I think it's gonna be like that again. I know Congo's doing a couple songs. I'm not sure. I feel like if I ask Ray, he probably will let me.
For sure, but at least one or two.
Sweet, so I'm excited. Shane and Nicholas, bro, we're lit. We're gonna go to that together. And then, bro, where's Charlie, bro? Charlie, you're still here. Like, what's up? And in the right corner, we have weighing in with a green dot with the initials CT with the red line through the microphone and the camera, Charlie Tree! What's up, bro? Unmute yourself. Let's go. It's okay if not. I understand, but it's nice to have you here with us nonetheless. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right. Does anybody have any words that they want to share that would make them happy to share before we all go? Or
I'm just really excited for both of you, Nicholas, Shane. Thanks for sharing, being open. Like, this is all about community and helping each other grow. So I'm really excited to connect with y'all more. And this was a great call. Thanks for joining. And thank you, Kashi, for sharing the juice.
Cool. Thank you so much, Claire, for having your juice as well. All right. It sounds like that's all, everybody, right? Does anyone else want to say anything? All right. Yo, big love, everyone. Yo, Nicholas, bro, if you show up for 4 weeks consecutively, I got you for free, bro. But you can't miss one. If you do, you owe me money.
Nah, you can hold me to it. You can hold me to it.
Think about it.
Just like Shane, I like that.
And then when you sell some shit, then of course, like, you know, do what you can. But I understand you have like debt and shit. Like, I want to help. So, you know,
Right.
That's a really unique situation. So, like, let me know in 24 hours if you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm all in, I'm ready to do whatever. Like, let's run it up. Like, think about it, because right now you might be like, fuck yes, but I want you to like stew in it and really know it's a fuck yes. Okay.
You got it,
bro. Well, I'm really excited. Hopefully, both of you are there. Shane, we're lit.
I'll be there. I'm in. Let's go.
Sir. Awesome. Yo, well, I'm so happy that we did this, y'all. Thank you so much for coming. Success in my heart right now. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you both really soon.
Talk to you soon. Much love.
Love y'all. Peace.